Clements Homebrew coming at you on another beautiful Oregon day. The pond's looking beautiful. Been listening to the birds out here. Got a beer review. Got a fun, interesting kind of direction here. This one is the IPX, they call it. It's part of the single hop series from Hopworks Urban Brewery out of Portland, Oregon. And what this is with the single hop series, this one is the organic Eldorado hops. Now, what they do is they use the same base malt recipe, 6% beer, 60 IBUs on each of these that they do. And this is a fun kind of series to do. If you've got a local brewery doing these, I really suggest you do it. It can really fine-tune the palate, help you understand what certain hops taste like. I love when they do these. So we're going to get this one cracked open and give it a try. Now, Eldorado is usually known for having some citrus, having some tropical fruit and stone fruits on it. That's what they're like. But you know, different brewers are going to bring different things out according to the different hop schedules. It's got a nice one-finger head, just a little bit off-white, some rocky bubbles in the middle and medium size. And it's just a really nice amber color, we'll say. Let's go ahead and get the nose. Well, might need to warm up a little bit. I'll tell you what, the first thing I'm getting is some sweet citrus on that and a little bit of orange. I get some light hints of a tea type aroma, maybe a hint of some mango on there. And a little bit of some orange. So it's not super bright, just jumping off the charts there, but you really get this really beautiful malt base on there. So let's just go ahead and jump in. Cheers. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know how new or old this is. You know, I didn't really check the bottling date. Probably should have done that. Well, I really thought they would have had a bottling date. I'm kind of disappointed now. Yeah, I think this is probably not the freshest bottle, so kind of disappointment there because I'm definitely getting those like fall flavors and herbal tea type flavors on it. So it's not going to be your bright, fresh Eldorado. That's a huge disappointment. I hadn't noticed this in the store before, so I thought it'd be a little more fresh. Getting little bits of some orange on there. It's not a bright orange, and some orange rind on it. Almost a hint of pine, I would even say, kind of going on there. Yeah, that wasn't a characteristic that I was expecting at all off the Eldorado. You can tell that it probably had some brighter tropical flavors. The mango is there. You can sometimes pick up some pear off of Eldorado. I'm not getting any of that. But the hop characteristics are pretty strong. I've heard people describe things like getting like Jolly Rancher candies off of Eldorado. I could see how you would come up with that. I'm going to take a little bit of time with this and I'll be back. So this is kind of fun. It's interesting. And of course with a single hop you're not going to get some of the levels of complexity that you get with many beers out there. There's a good amount of bitterness on it, which is interesting. There's plenty of sweetness, but there's a good amount of bitterness. So some people, this is going to be a much higher appeal than me. The mango, it's there, but it's kind of hidden. And the orange is there, but it's kind of drowned out by the herbal teas. I think you do get some of those stone fruit characteristics, but again, the bitterness is on the higher end. I will say though that that bitterness and the malt base, the sweetness on the malt base is very good. So I can't completely flush it out in terms of ratings. It's a fun little beer. In terms of IPAs, actually has quite a bit of hoppiness on it, which is pretty true of American IPAs these days. But I think really good. I'm also getting a little bit of berry on it too, which is not something I normally expect off of Eldorado, but it is definitely there. So in terms of ratings for an IPA, I'm going to give it an 86. It's just on that higher edge, if you will, of a B. It's a good beer. I think there's a good base, a good amount of bitterness. I like the level of hops that they put in of the Eldorado. And partly that's my fault not recognizing maybe this wasn't as fresh as all that, but It's a decent beer. It's a fun one to try. Still really recommend anytime you can get some of those single hop series from whatever brewer, trying them. Overall, I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to drop down to an 83. Again, it's a good enough beer, but you know, there's just too many great competing beers out there. Here it is again. It's the organic Eldorado hops single hop series, the IPX. Hopworks makes some beautiful beers. No complaint there. We're checking out some of the things that they brew. This is Kevin at Clemens Homebrew saying life's too short to drink cheap beer, and I will see you in the next beer review.